Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, welcome back. That is not a dub. Damn it. Who would have guessed we can't beat the Devils? At least we're getting it out of the way early this year, right? That was a game, highs and lows. But again, it's not about the result with the prospect challenge. It really is about individual play. I'm about to say some really nice things about certain players and some really negative things about certain players. I am aware these are all prospects and things will change with them. I don't want to overreact to one thing too much, but I will say Fabian Lysell will be a full-time NHLer. Not this year, because physically he's not ready, but he will be in the next couple of years. He has top-line potential. Holy smokes, I love him. But let's break it down. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Let's break it down by line. Again, they changed up the lines a little bit. Here's the edited version. Little tweet there. Thank you, Mark. Here we go. Lauko, Harrison, Lysell. Damn it. Lysell. Lauko. Still super fast. Still, I don't think drives the line by himself. Needs a guy to kind of make a play for him. But he's able to go through players. He's able to see the ice really well. And he is a menace on the power play. He did get a power play goal today. He definitely has a nose for the net. When he decides to shoot, though, you're going to get frustrated because there was a better play there at times, but he decided to shoot, and it doesn't matter what he has to do to get that shot off. Harrison, probably 3 years away. Has the toolbox. There's a lot of growth that needs to happen with Harrison. He needs to get a lot better with his decision-making and the speed of that. He has to catch up to the speed of, bigger bodies. But he's a recent draft pick this year. I'm not too worried about it. I was impressed by his effort. I was impressed by his stick work. He has some nice stick work defensively, and he can see the ice pretty well. He's in the right positioning most of the time. He's got a road, though, and that's fine. That's what this prospect challenge is for. Lysell, too small. He's getting pushed over by everybody, but when he has space, holy shit, this guy can dangle. He can shoot. It's a quick little wrister, too, that he's got. He is going to be so much fun to watch in a couple years. Don Sweeney did say that he is likely to start in the WHL. That's fine. Give him some time to bulk up. Bring him over to Providence. Give him some time to bulk up. Boom. We got an NHLer on our hands. I'm really excited about Lysell, but he's not ready yet. Asselin, Steen, Froden. Asselin, again, quietly really impressive. I thought he was seeing the ice well. I thought he was facilitating really well. He has a bit of a shot on himself, too. Quick little wrister again. But he can get lost in the crowd pretty easily. He's not the toughest guy. He doesn't have the flashiest moves. It'll be interesting to see his development. Probably won't see him in the NHL this year, but he'll be a really fun watch in the AHL. Steen, you will see on the fourth line. Now, Steen had a decent first and then really fell off. Didn't do a lot in this game. I think he kind of gassed himself out. Young guy, still learning. I get that. He is not going to be someone you count on to score. But his forechecking, his nuisance ability, this guy is like a fat kid on a cupcake, man. He wants it. He wants it all game. I liked what he showed for the most part through the showcase. Everyone kind of had a bad second half to this game, so I don't want to hold it against him too much. Froden scored goals 3 and 4 today. 4 goals in 2 games. That's pretty good. Problem is, he's 26, almost 27, playing against much younger competition. I think the team wants to put him in the AHL with Providence for the year. I think he could get called up if we are really going down the depth chart with injuries. They want to see if he can work his way on North American ice, look good doing it. He's been in the Swedish league for a couple of years. Let's see what we have in him. No one's overly impressed by the 4 goals. I believe 3 of them were power play goals. Maybe all 4, actually. I believe 3 of them were, though. He doesn't drive the play. He's just in the right spot. He was getting nice pucks to the slot, firing them high side, high glove side. Great. He's probably not that guy that you think he is after this weekend. I feel like I never mentioned we lost 4-3. That was the score. We lost 4-3. So your goals were Lauko and then 2 from Froden. Third line, Trollmox, Hall, Voyer. Trollmox has that size. He just doesn't have a lot else. Defensively, the stick work was there today, and he was prevalent offensively using his size, kind of pushing people around a little bit. Not a lot of skill, and didn't spend enough time in front of the net for me to be impressed. Hall, huge disappointment. With Mujanel saying what he said about him before the Prospect Challenge, about how he took a huge step forward this summer, how he was really impressed with what he was bringing to the table, Hall really didn't do much this weekend for me, and he really was invisible today. He really didn't do anything. The bottom six in general, though, was really tough to watch, except for Voyer. So aggressive. God, you do not want to be in an elevator with this guy. I'm telling you, I said it last video, I'll say it again. He's a biter, I guarantee it. I mean, you think Marshy's antics are bad? I guarantee this guy goes full Tyson, takes an ear off somebody one of these days. I really hope that doesn't come true. That'd be bad, actually. I was really impressed with Voyer, because even when the play was lost, he was on top of it, fighting to get it back. His forecheck's really nice. Do we see him in the NHL next year? No. I think there's a chance he's a fourth liner or a borderline fourth liner moving forward 2022. So we'll see how that pans out. Boudreau, Hudson, McKinnon. Boudreau and Hudson, Boudreau was picking up the pace this game, but he's a turnover machine. Hudson, invisible. He was lost all weekend. Anytime he had the puck, it was just a lost cause. McKinnon, I saw play hockey once. He just wanted to fight everybody. He sort of got in 2 fights this game, sort of. Neither of them were a real fight. Dude, I get that you're trying to get noticed, but this is a showcase. Let me see what you can do on the hockey side of things, not just the physical. And his hitting wasn't even that good. He tried to hit a lot of people, but it wasn't even that good. He was just trying to be a pest after the play. It did nothing for me. McKinnon is a complete non-factor. You got to be able to play hockey. We have enough guys in the league that can just shout at you. But I think people are learning, like, the agitator doesn't work unless he still has skill. Look at your Marchands, your Wilsons, even your Reeves. Reeves is not a terrible hockey player. I mean, I haven't watched him much the last year or so, but not a terrible hockey player. These guys still have to be able to play hockey, and McKinnon didn't do any of that. The defensive pairings got kind of interesting. Wolf and Lyle took the first pairing. Now, Wolf was better. He was throwing the weight around more. He was not a negative in offensive situations. He got the puck off his stick quickly. He found a pass when he needed to. Not bad. Struggled with the pass out of the zone, though. That's why you have Brady Lyle next to him. Again, Brady Lyle, bigger guy, able to make that first pass, has nice vision, nice stick work. This was not a good showcase for Lyle. Now, he played better this game, and his second period picked it up a little bit. Third period was a little iffy. My problem with Lyle is my expectations were high. And my expectations were a really good first pass, can join a rush, can finish when he needs to, throw the puck on net, get the puck through traffic. He did that at times. And he made some beautiful no-look passes, tape to tape. He was finding people really well in moments. But also, terrible defensive plays, complete mind-boggling fuck-ups throughout the whole weekend. Lackadaisical physical presence at times. Like, sometimes he was right there in it, and other times he's just watching the play happen in front of him. I'm disappointed. Does this change my opinion of Lyle? No. Don't let this weekend change your opinion of that player. Don't let this weekend really change any opinion of any player. Like, I'm talking about things that I liked and disliked. We have enough history on a lot of these guys to go, okay, that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. Maybe a bad weekend, maybe a good weekend. But yeah, bad showcase for Lyle. Not a good representation of the player that he is. Ashan and Mast, second pairing. Ashan continued his hotness from the last couple of periods yesterday. Great on the power play. Really good first pass. A cerebral player. He sees the play unfolding in front of him. He moves really well without the puck, as well as moving well when you have it. Now that's something Krug and I would say Grizz both struggle with, is the movement isn't always there off the puck. Ashan showed me a lot of good stuff this weekend. He is an NHL ready-ish player. He's probably number 7 when we're talking about who's going to get brought up. Vak, Zboril, These guys are looking at him like, all right, we've got competition. As soon as Clifton falters or we have an injury to one of our guys, someone's going to get called up. And at this point, you can't be sure who. And Sean has looked good enough to me where I think he's really going to get a shot really early. Mast, on the other hand, is 3 years minimum away from an NHL position. He's a big body. He gets the game. You can tell he's got a lot of raw talent. It's just not there. I mean, like Andrew likes to say on the Short Shift pod, linked below, he's got all the tools, just doesn't have the toolbox. Like, he understands the game, but he's not putting it together in one package. We'll see if that changes moving forward. It will, I think. 3 years away. Here's a really fun one. Dory and Pesky, the third pairing. Now, Pesky was hammering the puck away from him any chance he got. He barely touched the puck. Did not want to carry it. Really did not feel like he wanted to be part of this showcase at times. Dory, on the other hand. Now, he came in for Greenway, as Greenway was in a sling after game 1. Interesting kid. 18 years old, 6'3", big body, but has hands. And he looks awkward skating, but he can skate. Now, he's not the fastest guy, but he can go through players. He can little toe drag here, little in and out around he'll join the rush. Now, I didn't see a lot of his shot in this showcase. I didn't see him pump the puck to the net too often. I was really excited about what I saw from him. Years away, again, but this guy's ceiling is really high. His floor also might be really low, but his ceiling is really high. Brodeur. Jeremy Brodeur. Yeah, Marty Brodeur's son. Bad. Erratic. Overcommitted. Like, just rambunctious whenever something's going on in front of him. Wanted to make the big play, but too often took themselves 5 or 6 feet outside of the net, leaving a wide open net if the person makes one pass, which was there too much today. He didn't get a lot of help defensively, but he also did not help himself at all. Really poor showing from him. Really tough. So if we look at the weekend as a whole, the guys that I was really impressed by that I didn't expect to be impressed by, so Dory would be one of them. Aslan, I really didn't expect to look as good as he did. I guess Froden, I mean, you do what you can, right? He's 26 years old. That's a knock on him, but he still got 4 goals. Like, he did what he was supposed to. Pretty solid. Kaiser, awesome, but I've talked about him. When he's on, he's on. When he's not, I mean, we just didn't see him not on for this one game. I'm really going to have to pay a lot of attention to him in the AHL to see what he's looking like on a consistency basis. Lauko and Ashawn, to me, are the most NHL ready. Guys that might get called up if there's injuries or if they're having a hot start to the season would be Aslan. Steen, I think, is probably first in line for that 4th line job. I don't see a lot of these other guys coming up. Maybe Wolf. But there's just not a lot at this prospect challenge that you'd think about jumping into place. But let's not forget though that our team is not just 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, and then all the rest of them were at this prospect challenge. We still have other players that will be in camp that were beyond the prospect level that are still going to be slotting in. So these guys aren't, I see a lot of opinions running around on Twitter and everything talking about how soon this guy's going to be ready. Like, the guy doesn't need to be ready right now. He's 18 or 19. He's a prospect, like, in his first prospect challenge. Calm down a little bit on some of it. None of this weekend should decide your opinion on any one player. But we should be excited about Lauko. We should be very excited about Liesel, which is down the road on him. We should be excited about Sean. Some of these guys are going to make impacts on the Bruins this year. Hopefully they're positive ones, but they will be called up. Froden could go either way for me. And I see a lot of opinions about him, but he is not a guy who's going to consistently score on the Bruins. Like, I can promise you that. All right, guys, that's my quick rundown of the weekend. Nothing fancy again. We're very close to getting into actual games. I'm going to try to cover as much of the preseason as I can, and then we're back to the regularly scheduled 82 games, every single game review right here. Like, comment, subscribe. Or you know what? I have I think it's like a 60% not subscribed rate or something like that. I got to find the graphic. If this is your first time watching the video and you're like, oh, I don't know, don't subscribe yet. But like, come back for a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them. But after 3 or 4 and you're like, I like the cut of this guy's jib, I'd really appreciate a subscription. You know, that just makes sense to me, right? Makes sense to you, makes sense to me. Good. Good. Love to see it. Go Bees!